Sticking to the plan. Now, I'm going to talk about sticking to the plan today. And then, as I was sharing, um, I'm going to do one day where I'm just talking about the plan itself. But sticking to the plan, I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I was sharing with them that I almost didn't answer because I'd had a few things that I wanted to do before communicating with them. Because when we get on the phone, we usually talk for, an extended period of time. The conversation is always uplifting and I enjoy it. And I said, but I'm disciplined, so I'll do it, once we finish. And we talked for about 20 minutes. And then I said, you know what? Let me give you a call back. And I decided that I would stop and go ahead and record this video. Now, I want you to understand that I am beginning recording these videos weeks before the 100 days even began. But I am on a schedule that I have set for myself. And the schedule that I set for myself allows me to have days where I don't have to record because I've recorded ahead, if that makes sense. And me taking that moment to say, hey, let me give you a call back in just a few minutes, was me sticking to the plan. And what I find is many people don't stick to the plan. Now, it could very well be because they don't have a plan. That's one reason. But even when people have a plan, they don't stick to the plan. And here is the driver behind me deciding, you know what, let me do it now and then give them a call back. Although I'm disciplined, a lot of what you get done for and in your business will be based on how you feel. Now, this doesn't mean if you don't feel like it, you don't do it, but that does happen. People just don't feel like it. So they put it on the back burner or it goes on the list for the next day. And then what they have to do for that day and the stuff that they're adding on are all on the list for that day. And then there's this pile of things on the list until what's on the list carries a heavy weight, a heavy energy in itself. And they back away from the project altogether, from the plan altogether. And although I feel disciplined enough to have finished that complete conversation and then come and record, how I feel is important to me. I also understand that it impacts the energy that I'm using when I'm sharing. It impacts how the downloads come up and out of me into the ethers, into your ear gates, how I'm feeling. And I know if I want this energy to be the kind that penetrates your soul, your ear gates, and your heart gate to the point where you are taking action, where you're activated, where you move upon it, where deep thought is received on what I'm saying. I understand that my energy is everything. Even now, as I'm speaking, each moment that I talk, the screen, there's a small microphone picture in the center, and the rest of the screen is blank, a solid cover color, but it has circles around it. And each time that I speak, each time that I send energy through the airwaves, through the sound waves, the screen moves. The circles move. They get larger, bigger, and smaller based on my energy, based on the frequency that I'm sending out. And this is the same thing for what you're putting out into the atmosphere. This is why it's so important that you stick to the plan. But even more so, that you have a plan. I talked about creating a routine that makes you brilliant. It's, my intro video on my YouTube channel. Some of that is just helping you stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. And sometimes you'll have to do an interruption. And you may have to say, no, take action now. Or you may find your own catchphrase that you use so that in spite of, you stick to what you're committed to. Because that's actually where your results are going to come in. When you stick to the plan, when you stick to what you said that you would do. We talked about trust in one of our earlier videos. This is how you lose trust for yourself when you don't stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. I'm Tanya Wilson, your transformational growth strategist, business consultant, mindset coach. I help women just like you step into their personal power, scale their business, and create lifestyles they love. Build specialty premium brands that move, grow, evolve, and have their being as you grow and evolve. They're living being things. Those are the brands that we create. And businesses that fund your lifestyle, not run it. That's my take on today. Stick to the plan. Peace and abundance. Looking for added support, you can always go to renewfullcircle.com.